For this episode, we want to give a shout out to Ben with Creefall Bagel Company. Creefall Bagel Company is boiling and baking fresh sourdough bagels every morning. They're located in Creef Hall at 4825 Trousdale Drive, Suite 228. Go check them out. Welcome to another episode of the Nashville Dads. This week we have on musician Ron Artis II. We talk about capturing creativity when you have kids, moving to Nashville, feeding 5 kids, touring with kids, and our favorite music. We hope you enjoy. Not Ron Artest.
No,
Yeah.
I get it
You're
a
not
lot
World
at
Peace.
TSA. At TSA, they're just like, they look at me, and I'm like, no.
Oh man, I'm not.
It's
not.
It's not me. I'm sorry. I never rumbled in the Bronx.
Yeah, the other one that I
Palace.
got was John Baptiste.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah,
those
okay.
two things, I was like, oh, well, he's not bad.
He's not
he
bad.
seems like to be a really great person.
Yeah.
From what I gather.
Yeah.
I only met him once.
Did
and
you
he was-
really? That's
yeah.
cool.
And he was
Is he as big as he looks, like on TV?
John
Wait.
Baptiste is just super tall.
Yeah. Do you
He's
know who we're
super-
talking about? Do you know who John Baptiste is?
Yeah.
The pianist.
The piano player?
He's thinking about another guy.
Never mind.
I think you're thinking about a different guy.
Bautista is what I'm thinking of.
Oh, the actor.
Like Dave Bautista?
Yes.
Like Drax the Destroyer?
Yes.
Yeah,
I was just
dude.
like, wait a minute.
I was
He's
like,
big. He should be big.
You look. I could see how you could get confused
Yeah,
for John
Drax
Baptiste,
the Destroyer, yeah.
but not so much
Drax
Dave
the
Bautista. You
Destroyer.
are not.
Come on, what are you saying? I gotta eat more?
You know,
Like, dude.
Look at those
we'll
muscles.
discuss your
That guy-
protein
You're
intake.
jacked, man.
That guy probably wakes up with a protein shake.
Yeah,
and
probably.
Just
Yeah,
like
he has an
just-
IV of protein in him at all
Yeah,
times.
while
yes.
he's sleeping or something.
Yeah,
Dude.
but John Baptiste would be, I feel like, a complimentary
Yeah, dude, he
comparison because
seems
he
like
is
so
insanely
nice.
good
Yeah.
at everything he does.
I got invited to go do a jam down in Miami for the Montreux Jazz Festival. They just did an activation in Miami.
yeah,
And that was for this past Friday. And I was like, oh, man, John Baptiste is on the lineup. It must
Yeah.
be a perfect jam. It's going to be a moment where we finally, like, jam together.
yeah.
But I had the show the same night in Wausau, Wisconsin.
No.
And then, like, I'm in the airport. I'm looking at all the highlights while I'm flying home yesterday.
Yeah.
And then the guy hits me up. What are you doing tomorrow? Which is today. And I was like, I got a couple things going on. He's
You
like,
could have skipped our podcast to go hang out with John Baptiste. I'm just gonna. It's
Well,
a little too
I
late
s-
now, but
I still might jump on a 6 p.m. flight. I'm
Okay.
just waiting to hear back if I get any details.
Yeah.
Because the jam thing starts, like, at 11 p.m.
oh, seriously?
Miami
man.
time. So,
It's like 10.
Miami. All right. Now I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's John Baptiste.
Okay.
That's right. Very different than David Bautiste. Are you, Ron? Are you like? Is it jazz? Do you consider yourself a jazz guitarist?
heavy jazz influence, but I know too many great jazz guitarists.
Okay.
So I won't claim to be a jazz guitarist.
You respect jazz too much to say you're a jazz player.
Yeah.
I gotcha, yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I'd say jazz influenced,
Yeah.
soul influenced, blues influenced. Like all these things kind of shaped my musical journey.
Yeah.
But like, I won't proclaim to be like a jazz musician. Like, dude, I don't know. I respect jazz too
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Now I feel like some of
No,
your
I just know too many good guys. Like, there's a friend, Yo Tom. He goes by Yo Tom
Okay.
Silverstein. He's out of New York City. He's a great guitar player, man. And
Yeah.
I watch that guy play, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not a jazz guitarist.
Well, I've played guitar for like 20 years, and watching you play guitar, that's how I feel about playing guitar. As I watch you play, and I'm like, oh, that's what guitar should sound like. Okay.
No.
All right, now this sad acoustic song I just played. Okay, got it.
Dude, that is exactly what it should sound like. Like, dude, it's like if you can make yourself feel something emotional
Yeah.
when you're playing, go somewhere.
Yeah.
I always say if you can take yourself somewhere, music when you're listening to the music, that's it. That's the goal. And
Yeah.
if you can take someone else there with you,
Yeah.
even better. Like
Yeah.
it's just like it's about invoking a feeling, a thought, and sharing that.
Did you watch the movie Soul?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
They-
being
I
in the
think they did
zone,
very
just like
good. Yeah.
multiple times. Like,
Yeah.
kids would be like, "What are we watching tonight?" I'd be like, "We're watching Soul," and like, we just
Yeah.
watched it already today. I'm like, "I don't care, we're watching." Like,
Soul was good. They did really good on that.
they did.
I think that was John
It
Baptiste
is. They,
again.
yeah, they filmed his hands playing.
Yeah,
the piano.
yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
no,
it's so good.
yeah, because it's the soundtrack is John Baptiste and Trent Reznor and
Yeah.
Atticus. I can't think of his last name, but it's
Yeah.
9 Inch Nails and Trent Reznor do the soundtrack
Wow,
together.
9 Inch Nails. I
Yeah,
never
it's
would've
the 9 Inch
thought.
Nails guy.
9
Yeah,
Inch-
because that's
wow.
what Trent Reznor does a lot now is film scores.
Wow, man.
So, I think he did
Just
Halo.
goes to say, like,
Yeah.
just goes to show that it's just like sound music, man. It's genres. Like, I think we got to rethink what we call genres
Yeah.
because it's like it should be like expressions of feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, even like, I feel like I've listened through your albums, since now, and you're going to come on. And I feel like in one album, you'll have like an extremely blues, like, is this a Jimi Hendrix song? And then do like an acoustic vibe. And I'm like, oh, these are back to back. Cool. You got some range, man.
Yeah. Oh, have you started rolling already?
I have, yeah.
Dude, I was going to send you a file.
Okay.
But we can do that later.
Cool, yeah.
You can maybe add a piece of it in.
Yeah.
It's a song called Little Gray Skies. It's not out or anything, but somehow when we were talking, it made me think like, oh, I should probably give it to you so you can play a piece of it on there.
Yeah.
But
We definitely can.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
what's up?
I'm a super, for lack of better words, procrastinator. So I'm gonna like text you this file
Dude,
because
you're good.
I will forget in like 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. No, that's even. So I have 3 kids, and I feel like that's my day-to-day life is I think of something that I want to communicate.
Yeah.
And then if I don't do it literally in the next 5 seconds, then I'm not doing it is basically what that means.
Yeah. I think it was the movie Pets that had a dog or something on there where it was just like, I'm going to do this. Oh, wow. Ball.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those, I can't remember what.
You feel like a golden retriever at all times,
Squirrel
basically.
from Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I'm going to, squirrel.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah. I feel like this question kind of goes with parenting also. The way you play music, I feel like you've got to be pretty good at being mentally present to the moment in front of you. Do you feel like you're good at being mentally present to moments? Are you? Whenever I watch you, seeing you play guitar,
this is a dad podcast. I think I got to be honest.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm really bad. So
it's hard.
I have a friend of mine, Jake Shimmerbakura, one of the greatest. I have so much respect for him. He's an ukulele player, and he's just so phenomenal. And he's a dad too. And I asked him because he's been touring longer than I have and raising kids. And I asked him, I was like, dude, I'm trying to do this, that. Like, what advice would you have for me? And he's like, when you're home, be present.
Yeah.
And it's easy for me to be home. I'm like, well, I'm here. I'm physically here. He's like, yeah, but your mind is still going 1,000 miles an hour, dealing with all the stuff you just finished, like all the, for lack of a word, emails, text, like unsolved problems. The fact that in 2 weeks you're probably headed off to who knows where for how long. You got to deal with so many layers, bandmates, whatever, agents, whatever. And he's like, just take a breath, be present.
Yeah.
And he gave me a few great examples and just how he does that when he's like, when I'm home. I just try to breathe, be right there, because they've waited who knows how long to have dad's attention. He's just like, be present, man. Take a breath, slow down, be there. And so I catch myself because I've got 5 kids running around, and you can kind of get used to or get numb, for lack of better words, of hearing like, Dad, look at this, look what I just did, look what I have, oh, look at my drawing, look at this, oh, Dad, can you help me, or can you play with me? And I was like, yeah, I would love to play with you, or I would love to do this, or yeah, give me just 1 minute, Dad's trying to wrap this up. And then slowly you're thinking like, man, eventually they're gonna stop asking me. And then that's gonna.
Do you feel torn all the time when you are home and they're always saying like, "Hey, Dad"?
Yes and no. I think the hardest time for me is right when you kind of get stung with that inspiration. Like you're just like, ooh, that idea. I have to chase it, and you go in, I'll switch my stuff on, I'll sit down, I'm getting all my wires out, I'm tuning up, nobody bothers me. I get everything super quiet, mic set just right, take a breath, sit down, strum the first chord. Dad, she's touching me. And I'm just like, okay, sit the guitar back down. So what I've learned to do and all that is and I really wanted to share this with you guys, is I started accepting their chaos as my chaos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rather than it being this intrusive outside force that's can be extremely annoying if it's viewed that way. We think about especially us dads, we think oh, I have a problem. If we go out, I pop my tire, I'm just going to be dang, I'm going to get my stuff out. I'm going to figure out how to patch it. If I don't have the gear, call AAA or whatever. You just think of this problem solving going forward, whatever. We're constantly, it's about going forward. If someone came up and was stabbing my tire, I'd get, pissed off. I'd be like, yo, what are you doing? If somebody else bumped my car into a stop sign, I'd be like, yo, I'd get angry before I even think about fixing the car. I've got to accept sometimes that my kids doing things are actually me doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like this little piece of your heart is like out walking around with 2 legs and doing stuff until they're old enough to be on their own. And it helps me have a lot more patience and love towards their actions and figuring it out, as opposed to being like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
You know? And it helps also to remember what I was like at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, man, God bless my parents.
I think a lot of parents forget that. They forget how they were when they were young.
Well, I think, like, I forget what book I read, but they mentioned that, like, a child's main job is to test limits. And it's for you to hopefully be aware of your own limits is kind of like the dynamic. So, like, yeah, a kid is constantly going to be testing out to be like, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? Yeah. And if you view yourself as separate from them, as like, well, I'm this force and you're that force, then you're always working against each other at all times.
Always fighting. Yeah.
I'm not saying I know how to do that. I'm just saying like that concept makes sense. Well, whenever I know I'm on my kid's side,
I'm saying that I have it all figured out while I'm sitting in here eating this wonderful banana cake and just dripping water.
That's
and
right.
Just sitting here by myself. I just got it totally figured out. Now, once I'm standing in front of my kids and solving a problem, I forgot everything that I know.
Basically.
Yeah. It's like you start, sometimes the hope is like, you're going to forget, I don't know, 60, 70% of what you know. But the main thing is like trying to always come from a place of love, always trying to come from a place of just kids need time and love.
Yeah.
Those are like arguably the two main things that kids need from us.
Yeah.
Time and love. And it's like, dude, you give them that plus, you know, dad like direction, but it's like you can give the ultimate dad direction and no time and no love, and it means nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I try to prioritize that in my never still mind, really. Like my mind is never still.
Yeah.
But it's like try to balance and all that to just be present, be there, and engage.
Yeah. Do you have your own home studio?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
It's about this size.
Okay.
It's I'm not the best with like guesstimating sizes. This is what by like a 20 by 25 or 25. Yeah.
Justin, you're the contractor. You would know.
I don't know. I'm a contractor for outside.
Oh,
not
okay,
for
cool. If this was a
not for
recording
inside
space
spaces.
outside, then
That's
you would know it.
Then he would know. He would just
No.
be like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe 20 by 30.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah. So it's about like that. I feel pretty lucky. The spot I'm at, it has a connecting like walk-in closet.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So I went on Amazon and ordered all these shipping blankets.
Yeah.
And just like hung
That's how you
20
do
of them.
soundproofing?
Yeah, hung like 20 of them in there.
Yeah, they're like really thick. Like, you know, whenever you move.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Dude, they're really good.
All right.
And I think I only spent like $40, maybe $60. And I got a bunch of them. And so I just like hung them all on my walls.
Deadens all the sound, all the echoes and
Yeah,
stuff.
hung them from the ceiling. And
Yeah.
now the only two places you can hear my amp when I have it cranked is like the guest bathroom and the garage. So like if I'm in there doing whatever and somebody goes in our guest bathroom,
They're like, what in the world?
Yeah,
Just
just be
someone
like-
is having a good time
just
over
be like,
there.
"Wah," and then get them out of there really quick. You know. But
What's your wife do? Does she work?
yeah, well, I can't say not work, but like she doesn't work a job or anything. She kind of co-manages and organizes all the business stuff with me.
Cool.
So a lot of folks don't know like my wife's background. She has a master's degree. She grew up in Germany, was born in East Germany before the wall came down.
Whoa.
Worked for how do you say it, in like the equivalent of like Interpol kind of FBI kind of a job.
Yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
in Germany was basically only against organized crime. So her whole life was just seeing the worst the world had to offer.
Yeah,
when
sure.
you know, when they get a call, it's either somebody, you know, playing games with a visa or something like that. It's like the lightest thing. The worst thing is just, you know, stuff you only think about that happens in nightmares.
Yeah.
So yeah, she at about 25 or 26 decided there has to be more to life.
Yeah.
I want to take a year off and travel. And she traveled the world for a year. Her last stop was little Haleiwa, Hawaii, my hometown.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and we met May 19th, 2011, and we were saying our vows May 19th, 2012.
Seriously?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, dude. I've ended up flying out to Germany to meet her parents and ask her dad for her hand in marriage, and it was really crazy for them because I don't know. I guess people don't do that anymore.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask, is that we
It's
live in
very
the South, so I'm
uncommon.
used to that. Like that's what I
Yeah,
anticipate.
you got to
but-
go over and meet the parents,
Yeah,
man.
yep. But
so-
I'm like, wait, is that an American thing or is that a humanity thing?
Yeah, it should be a humanity thing. Meet the family. Like, it's like we're kind of in this individualistic mindset now. It's like I got to get what I want,
Yeah.
do what I want. But it's like, come on, man. It's like there's this old African proverb I've adapted, and it's if you want to go fast, go alone.
Yeah.
If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
And that's something that's like it's so overlooked, especially in our kind of independent society, independent-minded society. And I always put this thought forward to some folks. I'm just like, man, if this whole get money, get rich, get fame thing is healthy and secure and amazing and all you ever hoped for, why are there so many depressed billionaires?
Yeah.
Like, it should make no sense that we have so many stars in therapy. We have so many rich people whose lives are in shambles and have a mansion with no one to share it with.
Yeah.
It's like, we've got to rethink all that stuff and think like, hey, wouldn't it be amazing to have just enough and all the people that you really love and that really know you around?
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be a great goal.
Yeah.
So it's like going through this, these steps of just kind of figuring out life one day at a time.
Yeah. I mean, that's realistically, it's one thing that annoys me about parenting is how many of the cliche sayings have a lot of weight to them.
Oh, yeah.
and are true. Or it's like, well, all you have is like today, and you're like, well, it is kind of all I'm guaranteed. I woke up today, so I'm guaranteed
I'm
some
here.
of today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's kind of how my dad was living like that. He used to always say one day at a time, and and man, one day I woke up and my dad didn't, and that's how my life changed.
Yeah, man.
It's one day to the next, and I'm grateful that he lived that way, which was pretty much like cherish the moment, cherish the people around you right now, you know, because he was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy 30 years before I was born.
Oh, wow.
And doctor gave him 6 months to live.
oh, wow.
And my mom said, hell to the no. You're getting rid of cigarettes. You're dropping pork. You're getting rid of all the fake friends.
Yeah.
You're going to make some diet changes. And you're going to really learn to get things off your chest, meaning you got to say what you feel.
Yeah.
And, added 30 years to his life.
Wow.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And a couple of kids, right? I mean,
just a few of us, right? Like only 11.
only 11.
Yeah,
you
wow.
know?
Yeah.
So,
I got to say, like, there's 2 kids from my dad's first marriage, so there's really 13.
Wow.
But
That's
man,
cool.
yeah, it's amazing.
So coming from a big family yourself, is that the reason why you have 5 kids?
5 kids.
Yeah.
Well, like
Is that
it's kind
part
of
of the
funny.
reason?
Like it was like natural, normal to me. Like I was like, oh man, I want to have a big family. And my wife thankfully wanted a big family too.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea before we had kids how different it would be from being one of the kids to being the parent of the kids.
yeah.
Dude,
Different role.
They can clean out a refrigerator, man.
It
You know,
is. Whenever my kids are home for the summer from school, I feel like it's like you go to the grocery store and you drive home and you're like, how are we, like, didn't I just buy this?
Yeah.
Did you eat all of it
Yeah.
on the drive home?
Yeah.
I bought extra.
Yeah.
Like, how are we out of oranges already?
Dude,
like,
one loaf of bread for
oh, dude.
breakfast.
Yeah.
And then they're sitting there just like, do we have any more milk? And I'm like, we just bought milk.
Yeah.
We've got a cow outside now.
Yeah, that would do
That's
it.
it, man.
That
That's
would
the
do
solution.
it. I should get a cow, and then
Yeah.
have to go out and learn to milk them
Yeah.
and feed them,
If
take
you
care
want
of
your milk,
them.
then go out and get your milk.
Dude, I could see him right now, just like looking at me and be like, "You're a terrible dad."
I'm trying to make you self-sufficient.
Could you make me? Yeah, I'm trying to make you self-sufficient. Go get some milk so I can have a latte.
Exactly.
I would just be like,
Yes. Now that is like that's such a weird, I feel that stress because I do all the grocery shopping and cooking and everything for the family.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a weird, like sometimes I'll just be annoyed by things and my wife will be like, why are you annoyed by this? I'm like, I just freaking went to the grocery store like earlier today and we're already out of the thing I just bought today.
Yeah.
And she's like, why are you mad about that? And I'm like, because I'm bad at planning and that's what makes me mad.
yeah, I probably should have gone to Costco.
I should have gone to Sam's Club for freaking milk and bought 3 jugs apparently because today we decided to drink a gallon of milk. Tomorrow we won't touch milk and I'm mad
Yeah.
for
It's just
some
always
reason.
all over the place. Unpredictable too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You'll be like, I'm buying a pint of blueberries. It's gone in a day. Then you buy 2 pints and like, we don't like blueberries. And you're like, I'm so mad. I really hate wasting food.
Yeah. Yeah, we did that with bananas.
Did you
'cause,
really?
Like, it's really funny because like kids, I don't know if you guys kids are like this, but like for a long time, my 2 oldest daughters, they would only eat the same thing. They didn't want anything else.
Oh,
It was
really?
either mac and cheese,
Oh gosh.
or it was pasta with no sauce,
Yes.
and ketchup on the side.
Ketchup
And
on the
then
side
and it was
for
like
pasta?
Yeah, and there was like all these things for a long time. And then my 3rd and 4th daughter came along, and they go and eat a full meal with us at a Thai restaurant or Indian
What?
restaurant. They just didn't care. The spice, they just drank water and just got on with it. And I'm sitting now. What I did is I had my 6-year-old come and help me make salmon.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, while I'm making this, we have to test it. And from that day on, that kid can like clear half of a salmon.
That's cool.
Like she can like eat the whole thing. And I think it was part of like bringing them in on the experience of how it's made and why you're treating it a certain way, and they have to know what's going in it. And now, man, like we we went out somewhere the other day, and I was just like, oh no, this is for Dad, and you guys are gonna eat that. And it's like, well, what is that? It's like, well, this is like stuff on a kebab stick, and it's like all the stuff you don't like. And she's like, well, I just want one piece of it. Next thing you know, I'm eating the last vegetables. I'm like, and I was like, oh, dude.
What is like Hawaiian cuisine? Like, what food did you grow up eating?
So in Hawaii, you've got like, you got the whole world just about there when it comes to cuisine.
Okay.
There's a heavy Asian cuisine influence. So we've got like Hawaiian cuisine, Korean, Japanese culture, Chinese food, all that kind of mixed into what makes what we call a mixed plate. So it's very typical if you go to a local restaurant or a family gathering in Hawaii, you're going to be presented with mixed plate.
Okay.
So it's like typically like a large plate, and it has like four isolated sections or something. And you add on there like what we call kalbi, short ribs. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Dude, it is so
When are we coming over for dinner? Sorry, I should have started with when are we coming over for dinner, and tell me more about the food you grew up eating.
All right, well, well, you got to give me a couple weeks to try to nail this dish right, and then you come over because I love cooking salmon.
Okay.
I love cooking steak. I can do some baked goods, but I hesitate saying that. After
I'll
eating
bring
your
the
amazing,
bacon. I'll bring the
you
bacon.
got that.
Yeah. This is the angle for friendship, by the way.
Dude, this is good. So, dude, I like cooking, and I really kind of rekindled that during the whole world shutdown phase. And I was just kind of like sitting and cooking, and so I think when you go to Hawaii, that's the thing to look for kalbi, which is pretty much a beef short rib that's got the sweet teriyaki sauce, and it is so juicy. It's flame broiled, so it's like you cook it over fire.
Yeah.
You season it, cook it over fire. You put the sauce on it, turn it over, keep cooking it. It's just it's way good. And then Hawaii mac salad, which is unlike any macaroni salad you've had in the world.
Okay.
Apparently, we use a lot of sugar in it, and I thought everybody else did. And a lot of the dishes in Hawaii are sweet.
Okay.
And then we'll have like some kind of dish that features like a fresh fish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, some places will have traditional poi. Poi is an acquired taste.
Okay.
Then we have chicken long rice, which is really tasty as well. Man, I'm just kind of getting homesick doing this.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to have to go through this. and
Sorry,
explain
man. This is your therapy session. I'm sorry.
There's actually one good place out here where you can get a lot of these things. It's the Aloha Fish Company, I believe it's called.
Okay.
And it's a couple that moved from Hawaii. And
Cool.
when we were doing the fundraiser for the fire victims on Lahaina on Maui,
Oh, yeah.
we met them out here, and they fly fishing. I think it's every Wednesday night, and they're only open till Sunday because that's when they sell out.
Yeah.
Dude, so they make all these traditional things like poke, all
that's
this
really
stuff.
cool.
Yeah,
Where are
it's
they at?
Right here in Nashville.
Oh, where at what part
Like
of
what area
Nashville?
town?
Do you know where Groon's Guitars is?
Yes.
There's like a co-op thing right next door to them. I think on Thursdays, I think they do like an activation there.
Cool.
And then somewhere else downtown, they do. I only know stuff based on guitar shops.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Is it next to Carter's?
yeah, dude, it's like, oh man, I'm pretty bad. I think I might have a minor problem with guitars.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
That's
pedals.
Yeah, man. I don't buy pedals because I know once I start, I'm never going to stop.
Like,
so.
it's like you can have 8 different types of fuzz pedals, and
Yeah, man.
each one fuzzes a little different.
And it's never enough. I'm never satiated ever.
And then you figure out that you can add an octave pedal after the fuzz pedal.
Stop,
and you just get all kinds of nastiness. It's
no,
so good. Yeah.
So Gruen's is still like, I finally bought an acoustic from there a couple of years ago and was like, I feel like I've arrived. This was my guitar buying dream, was Gruen's guitars.
And I think his name is George, right? George Gruen?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I met him one time. It was really funny because like I grew up in Hawaii. Like we have very limited animals out there.
Okay.
And I remember going out, talking to him, looking in the vault with like all these crazy acoustic guitars that are just like, wow, I can't believe this exists. Like beautiful sounding. And he's like, oh, I want to go in the back and get something. Here, hold this for me. And I wasn't really thinking, and he handed me a big white snake.
What?
Like this huge...
An actual snake, like an alive snake?
Snake.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, apparently, like, it's one of his pets. And he just holds it, and he just handed it to me. And I'm totally inside, just like... You ever watch the movie Inside Out?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Inside, all the alarms are going off. Like, dude, this is it. Yeah. This is how I go. It. This is how you go. Like, you're in a guitar shop and you get bit by a snake.
Your love of guitars finally did you in, man.
And I'm looking at this thing, and it's just like super mellow, super relaxed.
Just chilling. Used to be held by humans.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay. Cool. Anytime you decide, you can just like, what do you call that? Like, boa constrict my wrist.
Just wrap you around. And just break my arm. That's fine.
I would be like, nope.
Yeah, you probably would have tossed it.
Yep, not even if it was a nice snake.
My brain was losing it.
How long have you lived in Nashville, or how did you end up in Nashville?
Just about 9 months now.
Oh, cool.
Like,
nice.
Okay. Yeah, man. Just made it through my third trimester. No.
You're about to birth yourself.
No. So it's I just got out here. I think it's really grown on me because a few reasons. One, like I grew up in Hawaii, and the big thing there is like there's not a lot of anonymity.
Okay.
And I rarely hear that word, but it's like everybody knows anyone. Like, for instance, like when I was about, 9 years old, hanging with some friends and my brothers down at the park, maybe one of us broke a window and we decided to like act like we didn't know what happened, got home. All of our parents already knew about it.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no hiding.
No. Yeah. Somebody somewhere saw it, called our parents, and, you got to fess up.
Yeah.
So then, like, you kind of grow up, you expect every community to have that kind of accountability for, growing up.
Yeah.
And then we started touring a bunch, and you go to New York City, and it's totally not that. No. It's like, and then I spent some time in the Bay, like, touring a lot there, and I would say to people, it's like, man, this one lady came up in a club after we were playing in Portland, Oregon, and she was like, oh, this, that, I can never find a good partner or whatever. And I was sitting there talking with my married friend, and we bring up our wives in the conversation right away, like, hey, yeah, glad you enjoyed the show, whatever. And we're just like, and I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the issue out here is like you could date 1,000 people, wrong 1,000 people, and never see them again.
Yeah.
Like, it's that dense, it's that fast, it's out here. So why would people value a personal relationship with a person to stick it out and do the hard work? She was done with the conversation. And I was thinking, and then that started my brain to just keep thinking, like, how many people actually really dig in and, like, build a relationship and care for it and nurture it? Like, why would you do that if your mindset is like, oh, when it gets hard, I've got 1,000 more people to try it out with and just, do this thing, keep moving. When we moved from Oregon out here, we had a lot of good friends in Oregon, by the way. Not saying they're all bad. Yeah. But when we moved out here to Hendersonville, we barely finished unpacking the pod or whatever. And there were like 12 kids like ringing our doorbell because they saw that there were like a bunch of new kids moving in.
That's really cool.
And all of a sudden, like, all my kids have all these brand new friends, and they're like hanging out all day long in the playground out back. And it's just amazing. We met all the parents, and it was just like, dude, this is kind of like what I grew up with. Like, and my daughter broke one of the toys from one of the kids, and he was like heartbroken. So like we showed her how to go on Amazon, use her allowance, order another one, and got to take it back out to him. And it was like, it's that kind of thing of just being like, yo, as adults, if we like lived like this, it'd be pretty good. Yeah.
Yep. I remember like being in college and like a freshman dorm is such like a unique energy because like
Yeah.
that's your community. Like we had
Yes.
community bathrooms and like it's like cool. So what do? You see people constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays in my mid 30s, like how do you see people? I have to have a podcast to meet new friends. That's
Yeah.
basically
Dude,
how
you
this
know
works
what?
out.
You know how I first saw about your podcast?
Yeah.
It wasn't actually the podcast. It was a photo someone posted of like a dad's group walking in a park.
Yes.
And I was like,
Good job, Justin.
yeah, I was like, dude, that's so cool. That's
Yeah.
like the movie What to Expect What You're
Yes!
Expecting with
That's
Chris
where I
Rock.
got the idea from.
Dude, I was like,
so happy right now.
I love you.
I was like, dude, there's like dads walking in the park,
Yep.
imparting dad knowledge and husband knowledge, and like calling each other on each other's crap, and just being like,
Yes.
dude, I was like, dude, that's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
wonder who these guys are.
Yeah.
And then like we talked about earlier, all of a sudden my brain just goes squirrel, and I went back to the next thing that I was like trying to
Yes.
get done, and
Yes.
then so it was really cool to finally like connect with you and,
Yeah.
and then learn about your podcast and everything too. And I was just like, wow, man, this is really cool actually.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, I'm stoked to be here. And
Yeah.
Well, if you do want to go for a walk, we do it every Saturday at 9:30.
Shelby Bottoms. Yeah. Well, I'll
Nature
text you
Center.
about it later. I'll
yeah,
text you
text
next
me.
time. Yeah, yeah.
What is today?
Sunday?
We just
Sunday.
went yesterday.
We did yesterday. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you did yesterday?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, I totally would have missed you. We got in like, we landed at like, I don't know, 10:30, got to the house.
It was great.
Just
yesterday.
before midnight.
We had 7 dads, I think,
Yeah.
total.
People
Dude,
show up.
that's
It's
cool.
great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I should join you guys on that.
Yeah, you should. But I mean, ultimately, what you're saying is like, when you have kids and whenever you're a dad, you're just really hopeful to find community.
Yeah,
basically.
hopefully to find community, and you know, it's kind of tough because if you kind of get stuck looking at what I guess I hesitate saying media because it's such a politically charged thing now. You can't just say media.
No.
You gotta like specify. You gotta be like, if you look at the noise out there,
Yeah.
then it just feels like everybody's doing bad. Nobody
Yeah.
cares about people. Nobody has time for community.
Yeah.
Right? But that couldn't be further from the truth. Like people are trying to be better people. People are trying to connect to other people
Yeah.
like on the daily.
Yeah.
So it's like when you kind of see stuff like that, I was just like, oh, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
You feel a little bit more optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think social media blows every issue or any topic and blows it up
like
a little
blows
bit
it
more.
up.
To the most extreme it possibly
Yeah,
can be.
yeah, and the most loud people are just a small group. They're
yeah.
not as much.
Yeah,
they're
it-
not
it's
as
not
many
the
people.
it's not the voice of the populace.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like a small group. It's like made us all think that we were supposed to get up and like do 100 squats and do all this stuff.
You
and then-
don't do 100 squats when you wake up?
No, like Instagram kept like I
Yeah,
guess
man.
trying to tell me that I needed to change something because
Yeah.
I kept getting all these ads.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then like a week later, I see getting all these ads about like guys who just get up and their knee breaks or something. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, what are you doing? Like you're telling me that you know that I'm sitting down all day or something?
I don't know.
Is God running Instagram?
Yeah, it's like
This
it's
is
like,
his message.
Well, is
Yeah.
it, or like I feel like we talked to someone about how like social media. I am terrified of when my girls are old enough to
Yeah.
like want their own social media account because even as like a man in my 30s who like has a pretty good identity of self, like
Yeah.
we still are inundated with videos. They're like, "Are you man enough? Are you being a masculine man?" And you're like. Well, now I have to either accept you or reject you because you're being so aggressive. So to put that on like what will be probably
yelling at me.
Yeah, like why are you screaming and be more?
Oh,
of a
I know.
man?
I think
Like,
I know which guy you're talking about.
Probably,
It just shows
yeah.
up. He's like, go to the gym.
Yeah, and you're
Go to
just-
the gym. And I was like, bud, come on, get off the roids.
Yeah, basically. But so like
Yeah.
to put that energy towards, my 2 oldest are girls. So like
Yeah,
knowing that
yeah.
my 8-year-old at one point in time will want a social media account and be like, these
I-
are the type of videos you're going to see.
My wife had a really interesting thought. She
Yeah.
shared with me on that. And she said, social media is going to be the things that, quote, our parents did.
Oh, that'd be helpful.
Think about it.
I hope so.
Think about it. Because, like, what did our parents always do that, like, we thought was maybe cool, but then we was like, nah, I don't want to do that. It's like my dad. Or
Yeah.
my parents. So, for us, like, we saw the explosion, the whole new thing of social media, right?
Yeah.
And this one generation is kind of right after us. I don't know, generation's like, 15 years? I don't know who makes that up. But, like, by the way, who's having kids
Oh.
at 15 years old? But
have
anyway,
no
like, the 15 years after us were kind of born when it was already there and sort of native to it,
Yeah.
right? Really good. But then it's
Yeah.
like our kids, say like you're having kids in late 20s, early 30s, by the time they're older, they're like, well, that's the stuff our dads did. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, vinyl's on a resurgence. All this stuff's on a resurgence that points to wanting a more human experience.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to this guy who works at a marketing firm, and they're like, the alarm bells are ringing. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, all the kids, all the people who are like 20 and under have a really acute sense when anything is advertising.
Yeah.
And it's immediately tune out. They like either skip it, turn it off, whatever, or just mentally just tune out and go do something. Because like, I don't want to be sold to. And I was like, wow.
Respect.
And they're like, we did like a focus group and all this stuff. They're just like, by the time they're buying the populace, we don't, like, how can you?
Once they have buying power, their discernment will be so great. That
Yeah,
how
it's
do you
like
get,
you
how do you win
can't
them over?
sell ads. It's like everyone a YouTube video shows up, everybody's staring, watching that 3 seconds till I can skip thing, whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, dude, how can I? And they're like, well, the world of influencers is going, but who knows how that's gonna last?
Yeah, that'll happen in time.
Yeah, I definitely have it in
You
time.
think so?
I mean, yeah,
I hope so. Look at me, I'm so amazing. It's amazing. I'm out here. There's an amazing island, and everything's gone. It's like they paid you a lot to do that.
Yeah.
So
basically.
yeah.
It'll probably go away at some point in time. Everything's cyclical, nothing new
Yeah.
under the sun.
And then it'll come back.
Yeah. Yeah. I personally love listening to vinyl because it not only does it sound better, obnoxious, I know, but like it takes away the opportunity to skip songs. And so much of
It's an
my
experience.
life is the ability to cater and be like, man, I don't like this. I'm going on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And I try to get my kids to, we live close to Phonolux, which is a record store off like Nolensville, and they have kid albums
I
there.
shouldn't know that.
So you do everything based on where a guitar shop is. I do everything based on where a record store is.
Nice. You know what I think is really funny is like I finally got my wife hooked on vinyl.
Did you really?
So like I should tell her, right? She bought me a turntable to surprise me for one of my birthdays and stuff, and I thought it was cool. And she gave me, when we lived in Oregon, gave me a gift certificate to go to Millennium Music, which is a great record store.
Okay.
And so I went in there and got all this stuff, and it was coming back, but I only had these tiny speakers that were kind of included, and I was like, babe, can't do that. I gotta go and get like
I gotta go drop like $1,000. Yeah.
You gotta get the speaker, and she wasn't really in on it, like really. And then she bought this like on Facebook Marketplace. We are addicted to that, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And she went and got these little speakers, and one of them blew out, and so she was fine just listening to one speaker on it. And I was like, honey.
No.
And so we went to this co-op where these guys were doing like a sell downtown where there was just old vintage audio gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grabbed 2 big speakers.
Yeah.
Got them, set them up in the bedroom as a second vinyl station.
Yeah.
Right? So she's got the one upstairs in the living room
Ooh,
that's
yeah.
like okay-ish,
You've got
right?
mono basically.
And then
up
they
there.
got the one down there where, you drop the needle on, you hear the crackle, then the sound hits.
Yeah.
And that was enough.
So I went to the first time ever. Sean Brock is like a pretty big chef around town. He opened up a space called Bar Continental, which is like across the street from the Frist. It's like a state-of-the-art record player system, basically. It is an insane sound system. On Mondays, here's your free advertisement, Bar Continental. On Mondays, it's community night. So you bring a vinyl and you put like a Post-it note on it, basically, and the guy chooses that song and puts it into the mix, basically.
Oh,
So you've spent
cool.
time in recording studios. It's
Yeah.
basically like putting your vinyl on the best studio sound system you've ever heard in your life. And they do it from like
Interesting.
5 until 10 p.m. or something like
Dude,
that.
that's dope. I got to go and check that
Yeah,
out.
because you just go bring your own vinyl. Taylor, who does Dad Walks, does it pretty frequently. You go, they do like half off burgers and beers and stuff, and you get to listen to the songs you bring on a sound system that like is probably a down payment on a house,
Nice.
So
Okay, here we go.
Anyway,
here we go.
sorry,
here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
What is the worst song that you like that you maybe
Oh.
can't convince any of your friends to like with you?
So I like really sad, sappy songs.
Yeah.
A lot. So let me try to think of my favorite sad, sappy song, basically.
But is
So,
it good?
A good.
Well, you're asking by my definition. Of course it's good, and I love
Okay.
every second of it. But if we're asking, I feel like there's two different categories for this answer.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm an obnoxious person. There's like guilty pleasure songs where like I love every second of it and I don't know why. Like Take On Me by Aha.
Yes.
Like that
Yeah.
song super live. I'm
Oh,
like,
wait.
just blare it. Just
No,
blare
dude,
it live.
I will listen to the live, like acoustic version they did.
There's so many good covers of that song.
But they did a version at some
Yeah, they did like
concert.
MTV Unplugged almost with it.
Yes.
Yes, it is like
The
haunting. It's
vocal
beautiful.
range.
It's gorgeous.
Whoa.
Yeah. But like I have an insane love of like Kesha.
Yeah.
Like Kesha, super loud. I don't know why it
I
connects.
gotta listen to
Kesha.
Kesha. I haven't listened to. I don't.
Nashville native, man. You
Dude,
got to get more
okay,
Kesha in your life.
I gotta
It's
listen to
all
Kesha.
ridiculous and
Yeah.
like a little skanky.
Dude,
very
you're
glitter
never
focused.
gonna ever guess mine.
I won't. No.
Do it. What is it?
What is it?
Yoko Ono, It's Gonna Rain. I will put that
Okay.
on.
Any Yoko Ono song.
That song, it's like my definition of not a great song, but it somehow really like scratches my brain just right.
Yeah.
That I'll listen to that song like a lot.
I actually thought of this the other day. A song I'm weirdly obsessed with that I don't know if people like that much is Say Hello, Wave Goodbye by Soft Cell. It's like they did Tainted Love.
Yeah, I gotta
So it is.
I gotta look that one up. We gotta make a playlist.
Yeah,
of this
we'll
stuff.
make a playlist. We'll add it to your
Okay.
episode.
That's mine right there.
I'm gonna be 500 miles by the Proclaimers. That song is amazing.
Oh, is that I'm gonna
Yes. Oh man, whenever it comes on, I just rock out to it.
Dude, you know that song actually reminds me to my favorite airport or travel song. I'll have my headphones. You know, I'm 6'4" black dude. You know, people thinking like if I got headphones on, I'm pumping my head. They can imagine like, oh, he's probably rocking out to something heavy.
Oh.
Dude, no, it's Congo by the Miami Sound Machine. Dude, if it's 4 a.m. in the morning and I'm getting my bags from Baggage Claim, it's just
That's
like,
you?
don't know the baby want to do that Congo.
Yes.
That's what's going in my
Glorious.
earphones.
Stefan all
And I'm
time.
sitting there, yeah, dude, that song is just infectious. You cannot stand
Oh, that
still
song is
and
so
listen.
fun. That song is so fun.
You cannot stand
Yeah.
still and listen to that. You
Or-
can't.
Yeah.
Here's another one. I don't know the name of it, but the Deo song.
Dale. Bobby
Beetlejuice.
McFerrin?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daylight come and
we
you wanna go home.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, dude, there's another one that he did called Man Smart, Woman Smarter. Have you heard that?
No.
Dude, it's so funny. It's like it goes like all these ancient history examples, and he like what do you call it? Comedifies them, like makes them into
Parodies them almost.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like all the times where you had the smartest man of all time and a woman got him.
That's
It is like
yeah.
it's like yo,
Yes.
it's like okay, oh you got it all together. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna raise you one. Like it's just like it was just
Yes.
it's like one of the greatest like old songs that does that. It's so good. It's so good.
I love, apparently, as I've gotten older, I've realized I love like 80 synths and like Moog
Yeah.
synthesizers and stuff.
Yeah.
So like that Soft Cell song is just like super synthy. It's just like a bed of like synthesizer basically.
I gotta look that up.
And I'm like, oh, I like this. It's in like the second season of Masters of None, which is Aziz Ansari. There's like a scene where he's like in the backseat of a car after a good date, and it's him like being lonely basically, and that's the song that plays over it.
Cool.
And like it is.
I gotta look that
It's
up.
fantastic.
You know-
David Gray does a cover of it also, who's also fantastic.
Dude,
Yeah.
you need to make a playlist. I want to hear this stuff. The one movie got me excited for that sound coming back was that movie Driver. I think.
Oh yeah,
what was
with
the actor?
Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
Yeah.
When that whole soundtrack was like that 80s vibe,
Yeah.
but it was all new songs or
Yeah.
something, and it just got me so jazzed. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, it's coming back.
Yeah, all the synth, man. It's all here. Just that
Yeah.
existential dread through the sound of synthesizers. We're
you
here
know-
now.
Yeah. You know the sad thing about that?
What's that?
When I was a kid, my dad had all these old synthesizers.
really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
An old Moog, like old Prophet, a Lin 9000. He had an old, like, dude, we had all those. I had the Juno 8, I had the D50, Roland D50, DX7, DX7 II, all those keyboards. And to me, that was normal.
Yeah.
It was my MIDI studio in my room when my dad wasn't using it. And
It's like basically, Justin, the equivalent of your being like, oh, Dad, didn't you have all those original pressings of the Beatles albums? And then you just gave them away one day and I didn't care about them. And you're like, oh, those would have been fantastic to own right now for multiple reasons.
yeah, dude, yeah. And now it's just like, oh man, I go on reverb.com. I want to get one of those keyboards again. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I was like, I had that in my bedroom. What?
Just casually in your bedroom
Yeah,
for hours.
just sitting there. Yeah.
Do your kids listen to a lot of music? I would assume
Yes.
your kids are pretty much constantly listening to
Yeah,
music.
they listen to a lot of music, man. There's this.
Do they like to listen to your music?
There's maybe a couple of my songs I listen to because a couple of them sing with me from time to time.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool.
That's really cute, man.
But there's a song I do not know who the artist name is, but it's like, it's the song just says the same words the whole time. That's just my baby dog. That's just my baby dog. And it's super like infectious.
Yeah.
Like it stuck in my head from the first time I heard it. And it's like, it's on Spotify. So it's just like, that's just my baby dog. And it's all it says the whole song.
Yeah.
Oh man, we went through the whole Baby Shark came and went.
Yeah.
I feel blessed and relieved that it's gone in my house right now. But what else are we listening to? There's like there's so many songs, dude. Yeah, it's like some of them I could do without hearing them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
My middle child is really into putting on headphones and listening to Taylor Swift's album Lover.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's the one that she's obsessed with.
Yeah.
So she'll go on her back swing set and swing and probably listen to Lover from start to finish like 2 times in a row.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I'm like, my wife and I are both
funny
like, should she
thing-
come inside? And we're like, is she hurting anything? She's pretty much getting
She's
lost in
just
the
chill.
world, listening to music,
Yeah.
swinging. I'm like, I wish that was socially acceptable for me to do that.
Yeah, dude, it is. You know,
Yeah,
just
man.
do it. You know, funny thing.
They should make a bar like that.
You know, I never actively listened to any Taylor Swift songs.
Oh, yeah?
Like I've never like clicked on it, listened to it, and said, "Oh, I want to go and hear this song." Well, actually, there was one on 2 albums ago. It was I think it was the one about a miscarriage.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I'm secondhand
I'll
Taylor
find it
Swift fan because I have 2 girls,
So
you know?
I'm saying
left
that I'm
teardrops
saying
on
this
my
as a lead
guitar.
up. I'm saying all this as a lead up
Yes,
because
yes.
we went to the YMCA out in Hendersonville.
Yeah.
And they had like a kids pool day, so all the parents are there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like they had a huge setup and plan and program for all the kids. But they were just playing song after song of pop stuff,
Yeah.
of this lady singer, and I'm just like sitting, I'm so bored, and I'm just like singing along to all the songs, and turns out it was all Taylor Swift for like 2 hours straight, and like I'm sitting there humming, and I turn over and look, and there's this other brother. He just like looks at me, and he just like shakes his head. And I'm like, dude, do not sit here
can't.
laying on a beach chair at a pool party at YMCA and judge me right now, bro. Do not. Come on. I got 4 daughters.
I've got 4 daughters.
Of course, I know all the lyrics of these songs of
Yeah.
who I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you don't know who it is. I was like, no, I don't know. I just heard the song maybe a couple of times. And he's like, yeah, you can act like you don't know it's Taylor Swift. Dude, the songs are catchy, man.
They're
It's
catchy.
like-
yeah.
it's
They're
catchy.
infectious. They're
Yeah,
super good.
and I told all my jazz friends who are like super serious musicians, I really appreciate them. It's like I went and bought the new Ed Sheeran on vinyl.
yeah.
Dude, that he's a great
He's
songwriter,
talented.
man.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good. That one song about the boat, like it's kind of like taking on depression head on, and
Oh,
just
yeah.
like knowing that the waves won't crack your boat. I was like, dude,
That's good.
that just hits me. So like, yeah, I bought that. I was
I
like,
think
music can come across all.
Yeah.
It can come across all kinds of ways, man.
I remember, so there's a music festival, I don't know if it still happens. Vanderbilt used to do it. It's called Rites of Spring. And so they would have
cool
like
name.
a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they'd have artists come. And there's one time I went and like, I think I was waiting for whoever was there to see you come on, and Colby Calais was playing. And like Colby Calais had a solid band, and she had a really good voice. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I would
don't know that
never-
name yet.
She's like a pop singer from like the mid 2000s.
Yeah,
But-
it's funny. I'll probably say I don't know who that is,
And
but
then I
I
play
hear
you
a
the
song,
and
I'm
you'd be like,
like,
oh yeah, for
yeah,
this, yeah.
yeah.
But like, yeah, you listen to a pop musician play, and you're just like, oh, your like singing technique is like perfect. Your electric guitarist, like guitar tone
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is fantastic. Well, your rhythm section is really solid.
Yeah.
I think I'm liking Colby Calais right now. It doesn't sad enough for me to normally like this, but
Yeah.
here I am.
That was like, you know, how I gotta talk for you guys, but I was like one of the people who were just like, oh, Justin Bieber, blah, Justin Bieber, blah. Like, oh, it was like popular to just be like, I don't know, hating on the kid, right?
Yeah.
And then once all of a sudden this video surfaces of him doing a drum solo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Does he actually have talent? Hold on, I need to
What?
rethink this.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then it's like somebody was like, well, I want to challenge you with a thought. If you blew up at 9 years old to be a multi-platinum winning artist and millions of dollars, how would your journey be if everybody saw every minute of every day?
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, probably change my name and live in a cave.
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm going to hit slice 4 of this
There
banana
you
bread
go.
cake you made.
Eat it.
I think the first time I also really saw like a pop guitarist play and was like, oh my God, is actually Third Eye Blind. Because they're that like alternative 90s, like grungy pop music stuff. And their lead guitarist for their first like 2 albums is like insane. It's like weird tunings, weird harmonics and stuff. And I'm just like, this is pop music? This is like, I expected like just open chords and stuff on a guitar.
Man, anything with a good beat
I know.
is good. It doesn't matter what genre. It doesn't matter what what decade it was in. Or at least for me.
If the song vibes, it vibes.
If it's got a good vibe, it's got a good vibe.
You know who I just discovered?
Who?
I think he goes by DK Drummer or Darren King.
I don't know.
He was from Mute Math.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a throwback band.
So I just met him like at a show I went and sat in with Alan Stone.
Yeah.
At the Hutton, I think they call the room Analog. And
Cool.
he was just hanging out backstage and I just said hey to him. And one of my friends who's a drummer with Alan Stone, Tyrone Hendricks, it was like, oh yeah, this dude's really dope. And I was like, cool, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Darren. He was just super chill.
Yeah, yeah.
What's his name?
Darren King.
He's in a band called Mute Math.
Yeah. Used to be, now he's doing his own stuff. He's been producing and playing with stuff. So yeah, I'm actually meeting with him tomorrow because, I was like, oh cool man, I like this guy's energy. Feels intense. And then I like look, and I'm like looking at some videos and stuff before we get together, and he like tapes the headphones on his head.
I see that.
Because he gets so into it, they break off.
Seriously?
Yeah, and I saw this one video where he was like had it all taped on. And he's like going nuts. And
He does have a metronome in his. Is that how he does his monitors? You
well,
think, or is it
he likes his monitors in there.
Okay,
and
cool.
like I don't know. I'm gonna ask him all those questions tomorrow.
thanks,
but like, and
let me know.
Yeah.
I will. And so like I saw this one video where he's like drum solos going wild, and then the headphones is like breaking off at the end, and I'm like, dude, they're taped on your head. How are they coming off? And I was just like, but that's the space in music. Like we were talking about in the movie Soul.
Yeah,
that's that zone.
Yeah,
like it's like I don't think that can be taught. It's like everybody has to individually. You have to find your space.
Yeah,
and for some people, it's totally the opposite. It's totally the opposite display. It's like super mellow. It's super soft.
Oh,
like,
sure. Yeah,
everybody's zone's different, but you can tell when somebody's in that zone. It's just like you feel this like something in the air. And it's just like, ooh, he's gone. He's there, but he's
he'll be back in about 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah,
and we'll see him then.
And I was like, I whatever you do, I just don't want to pull you out of there.
Yeah.
I just want to, because to me, it's like it's so inspirational to see someone do that because. Like, there's so many, especially nowadays, we were talking about social media and all this stuff. It's like, there's so many external stimulants.
Yeah, there's static everywhere.
Yeah, so it can keep us busy all day long doing nothing. So then when you see somebody who's like, kind of clean their path to find their zone and go there, it's just like, ooh.
I think that's one of the beauty of having kids is whenever you see them get in the zone because why is it hard for us to get into the zone is because we have stimulants, things pulling on us, static every second of the day.
We have to do.
Exactly. People we need to be, identities we need to achieve. And you watch your 5-year-old get lost playing in the sand listening to Taylor Swift and you're like, oh, they're in the zone right now.
Yeah, they're just there.
Yeah, and you're just like, cool. I'm just gonna walk away for a little bit then because I don't want. I also have a high level of respect for that zone and that realm where I'm just like, I should just leave for a little bit because I'm not gonna add to this. I'm probably gonna take away from it. So let me just respect that space and step away.
And sometimes when they're in that zone and all of a sudden they become aware of us there, they kind of think like, oh, maybe get embarrassed or whatever and get them out of there. It's like, no, where you were.
That's where I wish I was, man.
Yeah.
It's like where you were just now as adults, it's like people pay a lot of money to go find some place unplugged from the world to find their zone again.
Yep.
It's like,
don't you do that with vinyl?
A little bit. I try to, but like at the same time, I'm still listening to vinyl in a house with like potentially 4 people asleep in it, and I'm like in a room with the doors closed, just being like, I just want to like. I love OK Computer by Radiohead. The entire album on vinyl is just like fantastic. And that like I'm like, but I need to have it like 30 is normally like the level of volume I keep it. But I'm like, but I really want it like 45 right now. But I'm gonna wake up the whole house if I do.
There are a couple songs
put some moving.
Get some moving blankets. Take a lesson from Ron.
Yes, dude. There are a couple songs that have like brought a tear out of my eye listening to them on a good system. Yeah. And Radiohead's Creep was one of them. Yeah. Like there's so many different versions.
Yes.
But the version that they had in the what do you call it?
Guardian of the Galaxies Volume 3?
Oh, dude, that was dope too. But the one where they have the actor, they had it in a music video, and you can't find it on streaming, but it's like there's a music video with, what's that actor? He's a British actor, was in a record store, and he like goes to listen back in Sam Goody's or whatever with Tower Records where you used to put the headphones on and listen to the CDs.
Oh, I don't remember.
I'm totally dating myself right now.
Oh man.
People were like, they had headphones in CD
Wow,
stores.
you could
Yeah.
listen to samples of songs inside the studio. Yeah,
So
I remember
I
those.
remember one where he goes in a store, Clive Owen.
Clive Owen. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he goes in this record store and he's like looking at the CD thing and he takes it and puts the headphones on. He's listening. And right when the song's like getting into that heavy spot, a lady comes up and puts a second pair of headphones on. And they both like, you can tell they're staring into nowhere. And
Yeah.
they both are just like getting it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
they kind of look at each other. No words are exchanged. And he's like, wow. And then like one of them walks off. And then they're just thinking like, wait. I think we just totally got each other. We need to find it. And they're like running through the mall or whatever, trying to see where the other one is. And
Really?
they finally see each other towards the end, and they just both show like, oh, I actually bought the CD. And I was just like, okay, so
That's
that's not where I
awesome.
thought it was
That's
going.
not-
But like, and then it was over, and it was like, that was one of those songs. Like I listened to it, and the other one is like Off the Beaten Path. I don't even know what he's doing now. It's Patrick Watson,
Okay.
and like I used to listen to that a lot. Did this song called Something of Time. Dude, like I can listen to his stuff a bunch.
Yeah.
And another guy, bless his heart, he passed away. Charles Aznavour. He's like a really old guy. He did a song called La Boheme.
Okay.
It's like it's really off the beaten path songs that kind of like would just like move me to that space.
Yeah.
I don't like produced stuff really, like overproduced. I like it when you can feel you're a second from making a mistake or whatever, or it's messy, but like it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the stuff I like.
Yep.
I've never been a fan of like super overproduced. Then there's the occasional Billie Eilish song that
Yeah,
kinda
you
get
so
my
you,
attention.
yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
like
no.
I contradict myself taste wise. You know,
I listen to a lot of like bluegrass Americana stuff
Yeah.
because there's some element of failure that you know can happen.
Yeah.
And it feels human.
Yeah.
And then you listen to like a Billie Eilish song and
Yeah.
you're like, this is beautifully produced and really
Yeah.
well done. I'm probably going to listen to you every once in a while because
Yeah.
I'd rather. I feel like when I listen to messy music, I'm more aware of how messy of a person I can be.
yes, yes,
So
yeah,
it makes me feel a little bit more like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm cool. I guess. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess this is good. So.
yeah, man. It's great, and I think that's bringing it back to parenting. I think
man.
that's the thing about parenting is like we're gonna blow it, and but I hope that by the time my kids are old enough to look back at us and stuff and be like, sure, you probably blew it a couple of times, Dad, but you really tried.
Yeah.
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 If they go away having that thought, then maybe they don't go into parenting one day thinking that they got to be perfect. This perfect kind of synthetic being,
Yeah.
And
How did they take you moving to
Like
Nashville?
from Oregon to
From
here.
Oregon to
One of
Nashville?
my daughters, my oldest daughter, reminds me that there's a friend back there that she loved hanging out with. That she's still there. She's like, my friend Sayla is still all the way over there, Dad, and we're over here. I was like, well, we can go visit. She's like, I know. I was just like, oh no.
Just a slight cut here
Yeah,
and there.
slight cut here and there. Just let me know. But they've been loving it.
Okay.
Absolutely loving it.
Good.
Yeah. So it's been really good.
Yeah.
What are the ages of all your kids?
8 to about 19 months now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, we're
Nice.
in the thick of it.
Yeah, man.
Man, look at me quoting the backyard again. Into the thick of it.
That's awesome. What's your favorite age? Like for a kid to be so far?
I don't know. I love each stage. There's
Yeah.
something about that brand new baby just born that we can like fit the little baby's head and chest in like the palm of your hand,
Yeah.
and the little bum is like resting like
Yeah, you can like football hold them
right there.
almost.
Yeah. Like, and then you just watch them grow to where finally like the little bum is down by your elbow and the head's in your hand and legs are hanging down. It's like, wow. Then finally they're like crawling, rolling over. I don't know, each stage. Now my oldest daughter, she's drawing and writing, like starting to write. She wrote one book and did some stuff and just sharing thoughts that are important to her
Yeah.
and asking me uncomfortable questions. My 6-year-old was in a room, usually in a room full of people. She was like, so we were all in mommy's belly. I was like, yes, you were. She said, for a really long time. I said, yeah. She's like, okay, so I know that. I was like, yep. She's like, why do I look like you? And I'm like, yeah, that is.
That's valid. No, you have a train of
Interesting
logic
question.
there. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
like you did all that and you're wondering like, why do you look like me? Okay. Yeah.
Ask your mother.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a phone call right now. This exact moment. I'm so sorry. I gotta step out.
Yeah. I was just like laughing and man, it's funny, but like, man, raising kids, it's beautiful. I think it's the most amazing thing to be stressed about.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good way. I was gonna say it's very stressful, but then you have these great moments that just.
It's the best thing to be stressed about, man, because it's like you wonder, like, oh man, it's so good that I don't ever want to mess it up. Like, and it's like trying to figure it out, like, you know, how to make sure everybody has everything they need, and what does having everything you need look like?
Yeah.
If you have everything you need, am I gonna raise you up to be spoiled?
Yep.
If
I'm
we struggle too
constantly
hard,
thinking that.
if I struggle too hard and you see that, you're gonna always think you don't have enough.
Yeah.
Like, what's the balance? And I was thinking, should I look and see what like the English royal family does and send you off and to a third world country and make you work and live there for 6 months and then come back and earn your stripes? And I was like, what should I do? Like, is there a book I should read that's a manual? Okay, wait a minute. Oh, what? Like, yeah, you're all siblings, but every one of you are different.
Drastically
Like,
different.
oh man, it's
The
like,
thought that you are the person that is helping mold them. So stressful.
I think I've mentioned before, one of the weirdest things to acknowledge when we become a parent is you get to define what normal and safety is for all of your kids. And that's a really weird power.
and knowing what you were like at 5 years old.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of telling my daughter, because I was explaining, you know, and this came 2 days after me explaining her why I'm in charge of making safety decisions and all this stuff. I somehow told her, she was 7 at the time, I told her that when I was 9 years old, I jumped out of a second-story window with a cape and landed on my dad's work van and broke the windows.
Wow, man.
And it was Christmas morning, and everybody was down in the living room, looked out there. My mom freaked. My whole family freaked. My dad was just laughing so hard that his stomach was hurting. He was just like on the floor. He couldn't get up. He was laughing so hard. He was like, "Tell me you didn't do what I think you did."
I just saw you, right? That's you, right,
That's
Ron? That's you out there, right?
You didn't.
My namesake.
You didn't jump. You didn't jump with the cape. And I was
Where are you in birth order? I know you're one of 11.
Number 2.
Number 2?
I'm the second.
wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So I have an older sister, and man, she's the bomb.
So you set the example for the rest of your siblings.
Or show them what not to do.
Dude, you know, my brother Thunder, he's the 7th child. As he likes to say, he's the lucky one. Lucky 7th one. Anyway, he's always said, like, he learned a lot from watching me and the rest of his older siblings. He learned a lot of what not to do.
I'm the youngest of 3. I mostly learned what not to do.
Yeah, you could just watch us do it and be like, yo, that didn't turn out how you thought it was going to turn out.
And here's how I don't get in trouble, but do similar things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you realize, in a family that size, you realize, hey, like, my youngest 3 siblings just did the exact same thing I did when I got my first little licking. I think mom and dad are slipping out.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like, you know, I kind of want you to get caught because I want you to know what it's like.
Yeah.
And then your parents say something that shatters your world. They're like, oh, but he's just a baby. He didn't mean it. And I was just like, no.
Where was that grace whenever I did this action?
Well,
That's
it's
awesome.
beautiful, man. It's kind of cool because it's like you just realize, like, everybody's going through different chapters of life and learning by doing, and hopefully we're all just trying to do the best we can.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
Since
Let me leave everybody with it. Are you still going?
we're still.
I'm gonna leave everybody with this.
Yeah.
Some, I don't know. I hope your kids are listening. If you're listening, if they're listening to the whole thing.
Yeah.
I got 2 things that I do. It's one, we joked about this earlier. Is I told my kids if they hit each other, I get to tax them $5.
Yeah.
All right.
And in the negotiations to get that bill to pass, they
And you're lobbying.
lobbying with them. My 6-year-old said that they should be able to tax me for eating raisins or drinking apple juice.
Mm-hmm.
And so that tax is labeled fart tax.
Fart tax.
So they actually called me on it because we were at the airport and I got an open raisin cookie and I took a bite and they yelled out, "Dad, that's $5 fart tax." And I was just like, whoa, man.
Thanks. I can't explain that to anyone in this room. But
Yeah,
thanks.
it's so good. Everybody's you can work out some tax stuff with your kids, man.
You can. So, Ron, how we end all of our episodes, We
Yeah.
ask every guest the same 5 questions.
Hit me.
So
All right.
you have time to answer them. It's not rapid fire.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
so you
okay,
know.
good.
Yeah. So Justin, we'll ask the first one.
All right. Did you have any backup names for your 5 kids?
Yes. Our oldest daughter, we didn't know what we were having, so I was gonna name her Ron the Third, but then we kept thinking we should name her after our great, Yulia's great grandmas, which were Ida and Marie.
Oh,
So
cool.
I like that.
That's how she got her name, Ida Marie.
Oh, that's cool.
What we didn't know is the meaning of that name. Ida is like intuitively knows what someone's going to say or do, can kind of like have this intuitiveness to know the future a little bit.
Okay.
And Marie means by nature does the opposite of what she's told or supposed to do.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, so you know what I'm going to do, and you're going the opposite way before we even get there.
That's
It's kind of
some
cool.
soothsaying right there.
It's kind of cool.
that
Yeah.
is. What about your other kids? Do you have any backup names or names you almost named them?
I don't know. Lily, we almost knew like right away. It just felt like that should be her name. We didn't really have that many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people don't. Some people are just like, I thought this name. I liked it. I saw you,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, that's it, man. That's who you are.
I did get to name one of my siblings.
Yeah?
That was cool.
That's fun.
That's
Yeah.
Was that Thunder?
No, dude. It was my brother Martise. His middle name is Hemakana Makamai, which means the most precious gift from God.
Really?
In
That's
Hawaiian. Yeah, so I got to give him the middle name. I was super stoked.
That's really cool. Next question. Do you have a favorite TV dad?
Ooh. Yeah, I love him and hate him. The dad in Bluey.
Yeah, Bandit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew who I was going to
Yeah,
say.
man.
Like,
he's the best dad ever and makes you feel so bad about your life
Dude, it
every
makes us
day.
feel so guilty. Yeah.
Good one. All right. Least favorite kid show. One that you watched a million times with your kids and you're just like, oh gosh.
Bubble Guppies.
Oh, I've never watched that one.
What is it?
Bubble Guppies?
Yeah, my
Bubble
kids used to watch it a lot,
Okay.
and it was cool. And then I was just like, all right, I've seen every episode. I'm kind of done with it.
Okay. What was it
Yeah.
about? You don't know?
Just kid stuff, solving problems, looking for like sea burritos and.
This is
and
how I
stuff.
know
Sea
how much you
burritos.
truly
Yeah.
hated this show.
Didn't-
You
don't-
didn't even vaguely
kid
learn the
stuff.
plot line.
I just say kid stuff.
Yeah, it's just kid
Dude,
stuff.
it wasn't done. It wasn't. I'm sorry if the person
There's no
who created this
creativity.
is listening, but it just wasn't the most creative thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we
It's
all
all
watch
good.
kids shows with our kids. We're sitting there and
Yeah.
like, I am so numb
Yeah.
after watching this.
Yeah, a good one that my son likes is actually Little Einsteins. I wish they continued that. That
Yeah.
was really cool.
Next question. Favorite kids toy? So like when your kids play with it, you actually like playing with it also?
Oh, let me see. Well, there's soccer balls. That doesn't really count, does it?
No, it can. It
Yeah.
can.
I bought my kids, my daughters, because this is what every 4-year-old, 5-year-old daughter wants. Is I got them new remote control cars.
Oh, yeah.
That go like 100 miles an hour because
Oh,
that's
wow.
what they really
That's
wanted.
what they need.
They really wanted it. It's so I got them some remote control cars for their birthdays.
It's like buying Nerf guns for your daughters. Like, you really wanted these
Yeah,
Nerf
you
guns.
really wanted these Nerf guns, and oh, dude, that was really funny. Yeah,
The Picasso magnetic tiles with the marble run.
Yeah.
That is so addicting. That is mine.
Oh, Marble Run right
Oh,
now?
yeah.
Marble Run is
I'm-
like very weirdly fun.
yeah.
You were talking about it like a month ago.
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I'm buying them.
Yeah, no,
and
it's-
I literally bought them that night.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Cool.
One of the best games though is like getting these new so many new card games. and
Oh, yeah,
board
there
games out
are,
for
yeah.
kids. Like there's the exploding kittens.
Yes,
they
Exploding
did a
Kittens.
variant called Exploding Minions, which is really cool. And then they did what is it called? Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. That is the best card game ever
Is it really?
for family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you play a lot of card games whenever you guys are traveling?
Oddly enough, we don't play enough when we actually travel.
Okay.
But we play a lot at home when we want to just have family time and get off of all electronic stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun.
Cool. All right, last question. What moment of your kid's life are you most excited to be a part of? It can be a general for all 5.
I didn't. I I really like being able to be there when they hit something new that they really don't understand, that really scares them or hurts them. I I never knew this about me, but when they're there and I'm able to offer something that gives them a peace or understanding to handle that the next time and not be afraid of it, I think that has been some of the most moving moments of a parent for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm teaching my 6-year-old how to swim better, and I was laughing because my oldest one was sitting there trying to give her tips, and I was like, "Do you remember how angry you got at me when you fell in the pool, and because I didn't catch you, and you couldn't swim?" And she was all like, "Oh yeah, I do." And then I was like, "You remember how angry and how much you kicked me when I was trying to teach you to swim?" And then now she can like swim from one end of the pool, whatever, dive like nobody's business. And now my 6-year-old's doing that, and I was just like helping them kind of through that moment. And this is another moment, like every kid's so different. Like my 6-year-old, we keep dubbing her our little leader, like because she doesn't really have much fear.
Yeah.
But parenting her in that area is pretty challenging. Like you don't wanna break her. You wanna guide her and show her why she has those gifts. So it's like those, especially as a young woman, that's gonna really serve her down the line.
Yeah.
So when we just had this last snowstorm, we broke out all these snowboards and sleds that we had,
nice.
and so they were like bombing the hill at the park. It was so much fun. And then one day, like all the ice had hardened and snow had hardened, turned to ice and all this stuff, and it was all muddy. And so all the little kids didn't come, but all like the 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds showed up. And I saw them out there. And one of the kids grabbed my older daughter's like sled and just tossed it off the hill because they wanted the spot, and she was taking too long. And my second one goes over, grabs this boy's sled and tosses it. And then he steps up there, and she steps up and puts her chest out. It's like, what and what? And I just hear that from where we're standing. And my wife wants to run over there. And I'm like, don't, just hold, just wait. He just like looks at her, and then he just storms off. And for me in that moment, I was just like, and that's why she's got that fire.
Yeah.
You know, they're a great team. They're so different. And it just shows like how beautifully diverse the world is, and just like trying to teach our kids to really value what makes them unique.
Yeah.
Like my oldest doesn't have to be my second oldest. My second oldest doesn't have to be my third oldest, who our third child, she just looks like one of those kids you'd see in every commercial or something. How she talks, how she carries herself. She's just like, that's what she wants to do. And I'm just like, wow, nobody ever taught you, but that looks like what you're gonna do. And then my fourth one is just this like very few words. She's just independent. Like when she was first turned 2, learning to walk, she just opened the front door and left.
Wow.
And
I'm out. I'll see you guys later. My Uber's here.
yeah, I just followed her for 2 blocks, and she never looked back.
Wow.
And then when she finally saw me there, she thought it was the most funny thing in the world that I was there. And I was just like, it scared the crap out of me. I was just like, whoa.
Good to know.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just interesting watching all of them. And then now we have our first little boy, and just like everything's so different there. And just like, wow, bud. Like to him, like I'm invisible. It's all mom.
Yeah.
If I get too close to mom, dude, then his gloves come off. I'm just like, bro, we got to work on this, because like I was here first.
That's awesome.
So it's like, you know, it's beautiful, and just I guess we all kind of feel the same thing. I don't want to mess it up, you know. But just try to love on him and learn each day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, here's the opportunity we normally give people to like promote themselves. If we want to follow you on Instagram, like what's your Instagram handle, all that good stuff. What you got going on?
Instagram handle is my name with no spaces, Ron Artis II. But yeah, I'm really bad at advertising myself. I finally solved something this year though.
Okay.
This last trip, the last week. My agents, everybody's always been telling me, like, you gotta have the elevator pitch. What genre, what style of music? If somebody asks you, and it finally dawned on me, I do therapy music.
Yeah.
That's what I do. It's everything from like acoustic guitar, relaxed music, to rock and roll, to everything. But the overall overlying theme and all that is it's therapy. It's things that actually helped me heal and things that I hope can help other people heal and make sense of life. So I'm just gonna call it therapy music, man.
Cool.
Yeah. We'll tag you in like the Instagram post, all that good stuff and everything, so people can follow you.
Dude.
And
thanks.
Ron, we really appreciate your time, man.
I appreciate you guys
Thank
too,
you
man.
all,
Thanks, man.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Dude, and I appreciate this dope banana bread cake you made.
I can send you the recipe later, just so you know.
No, I'm just gonna make you make it, so we gotta hang out.
Yes, I'm for it.
There you go.
Thanks again for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Nashville Dads and to subscribe to us on Apple and Spotify podcast. We record at New Light Podcast Studio and episodes are produced by me, Devin.